Deliverable. Okay, believe it or not, I do not use Camtasia for the deliverable aspects of things. So deliverable is a small file that you give the student to watch. And we have to think about things like the student has to carry this file around, student has to get this file some way. What's the limit of the student? And I could tell you the limit of the student is going to be the internet every time. At home, you want to give these, the premise of actually recording yourself and giving it to a student is the fact that you want the student to get it. If you're giving it to them via thumb drive, that's great. They take it home on a thumb drive, good to go. But you want to make it so those students that are with you every day are not just your only students. That's what I'm trying to do this for. There's more students out there. There's students in other countries. If I click on my YouTube Insights, I see there's many countries out there. Russia's watching stuff. Germany's watching stuff. That's where teachers have to be. Teachers have to be global, not just local. All right, so when I do deliverables, I look at iTunes. What you do, you take the file, the master file that was on your desktop. Here's the 4 meg file, and I just clicked it and dragged it into iTunes. And after that, I can go Advanced, iPod or iPad, Apple TV versions. Why am I targeting Apple? I'm not. These two file formats right here, they're both the same. They're just a little bit smaller from each other. They're size smaller. So I think the rough size of an iPad is 960 by 480, and the other one is like 320 by 240. Okay, so this one is a higher resolution. They play on both Mac and PC, so I like to make it cross-compatible. I've been through the woods. I've seen a lot of things where codecs get in the way. I give something to a student, they take it home, they're like, I can't watch this. Happens all the time. So that's why I target these two formats or these two sizes. One, the codec is really nice across both platforms, both Mac and PC. I never had any complaints about these type of videos. So now what happens is it converts it over and puts it right next to it. As you can see, now I have 2 of them. If I go right click, show in Finder, let's look at the size differentiation. So here's the original MOV, which is 4 megs. And then the M4V is 922 kilobytes. Wow, that's a huge jump down. Let's look at the actual quality of it. Right click, open with. We'll talk about packaging later. You know, what should I package with my videos so the student can have a better chance of watching them. VLC player is a really nice thing. Okay. The video is clear, I can watch it, and it fits on 1/4 of my screen. Why is that important? Well, if you're going to use this to be training via software, if it fits 1/4 of the screen and is really clear, that means the student has the ability to be actually in the software and watch your video. Okay? So you don't want your video to be too high a res because then it'll take up the entire screen. But don't forget, students are pretty savvy with things, and they could say half size if they wanted to. So I could get a huge one out here, and they could choose half size, and they would be able to get that. So we'll get into delivering student higher res content later on, but for right now, this workflow works really well. Now we're going to have to talk about venue. Where do I put my videos in order for students to get them? And it's a huge topic right now because there's a lot of districts that still believe in blocking stuff. They block stuff because of bandwidth. Yep, believe it or not. So we'll get into that later, but venue is very important. So in the next video, we'll discuss that topic.